I can't wait. We're live. All right. Oh, I'll sit up for the beginning. Why not?
Do it live.
We'll do it live. All right. Three.
Beep, beep.
Oh, nope. Not 3, 2, 1. Instead of having the podcast up, I have the candy bar stuff up. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 897, the Spectrier Podcast. I'll read it today since you're already pulling double duty.
All right.
Spectrier probes its surroundings with all its senses, save for one. It doesn't use the sense of sight. Spectrier's kicks are said to separate soul from the body. Wow, like the Matrix. 6 feet tall, 98 pounds, unknown gender, and its category is Swift Horse. Abilities include Grim Neigh. When the Pokemon knocks out a target, it utters a terrifying neigh, which boosts its special attack stat.
I make a Grim Neigh when I'm having a hardship.
And that's end of Pokemon section. Deux Michaels is here.
Thank you very much. Oh, woohoo! I forgot my line for a second.
I am here. And you're not wrong. It's just us this week. Last week it was Mom Brain and me. Now she's gone. She's watching my sister's dog. And this week it's just me and Deux.
But Mom Brain, we speak your name.
There you go. She asked for it to be spoken. And now it has been spoke. So yeah, I don't know what the hell to expect from this show, but we're doing it live. Let me say hello to the Discord people. By the way, beautiful summer day here in New Jersey.
Yeah, strangely.
I woke up today, as I always do every day. I wake up first off. But then I'm like, let's see what the weather is today. Because I'm like, let me see what my walk's going to be like later. And the echo goes, it's 81 degrees. It'll be 81 today. I'm like, what? 81 degrees? And I stepped outside to take my walk. And I was like, it's actually a little warm out. Yeah. And then it eventually got up to 80.
Yeah, I was sweating today.
I don't know what's going on in the world. It is 81 degrees exactly right now. So yeah, I guess, we used to call that Indian summer. I'm sure that's racist because it sounds racist. But I don't have another term for it. I need Indian summer meaning like a summer that comes very late, like a last couple, like summer's last hurrah, and then we get back into fall. But when the hell does fall start? What was it? Late September was fall?
Yeah, I thought so.
And we're a month in, and now it's 81 degrees. Hello, Nintendo, who says it's a nice 66 degrees right now where they are. Hello, Tentavision and Freddy Fro. That's right. Oh, that's hot. Granimus says 81 here, nearing the high. Red Souza's here. What are you playing here? Terraforming Mars. That man, you know what? I'll talk about that in a minute. Board games, I can remember that. Storbus Corbin, good to see you. Anastasia Beaverhausen, good to see you. Alternates Liz. Look at that. Taylor Swift Eras Tour Cup. Hello, Vachi. Hello, Nico Darunia.
Yeah, we stand Taylor Swift.
Hello, Ice Dilbert. Hello, Malik Halo. Yeah. And whoever else I didn't see, I will try and catch you as you come in. Thanks for joining us. Yes, Red Souza is playing Terraforming Mars, the board game. I could become a huge board game person. I could easily see myself getting sucked into that kind of stuff. It's just you need people to play. I have friends and family who would play, but a lot of the games are very complicated and take a long time to set up and a long time to play, and it's not everybody's thing. Hello, Drake. So Drake says it's 12 degrees Celsius where he is. I can't do the conversion. I don't know.
That's a good one.
So
I just ate some British chocolate.
That's right. Deux just had for his first ever Cadbury Crunchy for our UK fans.
Amazing.
Earlier this week, we all found out that Cadbury Crunchies existed, and I bought a pack of 4 off Amazon. And a friend, hi Guy Bones, a friend bought a pack of 4 as well. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Mom Brain gave it a 10. She actually gave it a 20 out of 10. Our other friend gave it a 10 out of 10. Deux, would you care to give it a score?
I'd have to say 10 out of 10 as well.
There you go. There's your you couldn't get a better recommendation than that. 3 10 out of 10s and 1 20 out of 10. It is Cadbury. It's milk chocolate and honeycomb toffee, as it was described. Will destroy my teeth if I ever have another crunchy. We were saying how it wasn't so bad. It gets stuck in your teeth a little.
The stickiness of the teeth is not bad at all. What I found was that it was so good that it made my molars hurt a little bit. You ever get that when you're eating something a little too sweet?
If I eat a lot of something too sweet, I have gotten that.
Maybe because I haven't been eating a lot of sweets lately, that's why it affected me.
I find out that happens with me too. Like with sugar, if I eat a lot of sugar, because I really don't anymore, when I do go through a lot, I feel a little weird. So
it was only like a little bit of sensitivity in the teeth, but nothing that's going to stop me from eating it again and again. It was definitely amazing. And we were talking about everything about it, like the presentation of the cross section, the way it bites itself off with no crumbs, and the way its texture is, and it's just so fun to look at and eat. And man, it's a great candy bar experience.
It is a great one. And not best thing, a great thing about it, if it matters to you, it's actually 149 calories. So 150 calories for a candy bar. That's great. I just bought another candy bar here. Whoever makes whatchamacallit makes a new thing, and it's some other name like that. Like it's not Who's the What's. It's nothing like that, really? But it's some other kind of blah 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 blah. And I bought that candy bar, a little bit bigger, 380 calories. Numbers. Who looks at a candy bar and it's like, this is 3 servings? That's what that candy bar said.
Yeah, and I had a Snickers bar a couple of weeks ago, and that is smaller than I remember. I think they're making them a little tinier.
You're right.
And it was 250 calories, and I was like, and I love a Snickers, so I didn't regret it, but it was a lot of calories, I think, for the size.
Rosemary Farmer, hello. If I didn't say hello to you, I can't remember if I did or not. Vachi says, I can't eat those Cadbury eggs. It's so gross, and I'm the egg guy. I love a Cadbury egg. Love it.
I'm good on a Cadbury egg. I could eat them, but they're not my favorite.
Another one that the ones we have here from Cadbury are very good, but the ones in the UK are better. Mom Brain has a friend who sent over some British ones, and there's like a noticeable difference. Hi, Joe Shabadoo. Joe Shabadoo says, tune in, and a food convo is happening. All is right with the world. That is correct. How am I going to do this? There's a couple of things I want to talk about. All right. I have some cleaning of the house, or house cleaning. Then I have something that is going to end up being food related and something not food related. So house cleaning. First things first, thank you for the support on Threads. We continue to see an uptick of Threads followers. So I really appreciate that. We're over 500 on Threads right now. So thank you very much, everybody following over there. As I said last time, it's basically the same as Twitter, now known as X. But I've found it to be, hi 8-Bit Lego, I found it to be a little more friendly, probably because of the lesser amount of people that are following. But still, it's a nice little environment. If you're looking for a little more relaxed Twitter experience, I would suggest going with Threads. But thanks for the support over there. Number 2.
How much does it cost?
It's free. 100% free. Until somebody else buys it, and then they go insane and they start charging for a worse product. Number 2, I have noticed your comments and I got your emails and all that. Yes, it seems like the show is having a lot less hiccups now from the YouTube side of things, because I've gone through the effort of making sure the show is hardwired to the internet every week from here on out. So it seems to have made a noticeable difference in overall quality and drops. I know there's still a hiccup every once in a while, but it seems to be much improved. So thank you for pointing that out and noticing. We're trying to make our Dog and Pony show a little bit better. And then there was something else. Oh, yes. Crazy Colonel is not around this week. He cannot do a picture. No. If anyone feels like doing a random drawing or a random sketch or whatever, the door is open. We have nothing for this week. So obviously, if multiple people do something, I can't post them all as the main picture, but I'll put together a post with your pictures. If you send me a picture you do, I will add it to the podcast post. And one of them will be you know what? If I get multiple, I could change it each day of the week. The YouTube thumbnail will stay the same, but I could change it each day of the week on GoNintendo. Vachi, I'm not going to lie, Vachi. as I was saying this out loud, I was like, I bet Vachi could do something good. So Vachi, if you want to, all yours. Whatever you would like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be related to anything we talk about today, but it's there. So open door. If you want to send one, I usually get them by like 4 a.m. on 4 a.m. on Sunday. So you got plenty of time. But yeah, send one my way and I'll use it. Greg, that's awesome. I remember seeing this a while ago and it's still so cool. Man, I wish I was as cool as Lionel. I wish I had Lionel's mane. That would be amazing. There's a GIF in the chat of me as Lionel throwing up the GoNintendo symbol and looking through the eye of Thundera to call the Nintendo news, obviously. All right, so that's the house cleaning. Next thing. Today is, as of recording, October 28th, 2023. That marks the 2-year anniversary exactly of Pikmin Bloom coming out. In North America, anyway. Came out earlier other places. But North America, we got it October 28th, 2021. So I've used it every day. And as you know, that was the beginning of my weight loss journey. When that game was coming out, I said, you know what? I'm going to make a point to walk and I'm going to eat better. And here we are. So it's been 2 years. I started at
eat lesser.
yeah, right. I eat lesser. Take more vitamins and eat less. I started at 320, 330. I don't know. And I'm at 160, 155, 160, somewhere in there. So just from walking and changing how I eat,
my body is ready.
Big things happen. So I owe it to Pikmin Bloom. Why am I talking about this? Because this week I'm going to have a special feature on the site about Pikmin Bloom and me walking and blah, 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 blah. So look forward to that. And I congratulate you. I won't get into specifics because it's your story to tell, but you've been on a weight loss journey too, and you more than hit your goal. So congratulations.
You were a big inspiration. You were an inspiration. That, and I didn't want to buy, pay a tailor to let my suit out. But...
Two biggest inspirations in life, friends and not wanting to spend money. And I agree with both of those. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. But you, in the last, how long has it been now? 3 months?
It's been 2.5 months. And I set out trying to lose 15 pounds to fit into a suit. And as of yesterday, I just hit 30 pounds. I ended up changing my goal a couple of times.
And like a week, maybe a week and a half, there was already a noticeable difference. You looked great before. Don't get me wrong.
Cheers,
but you do look great. Hi, Mark Farrow. Good to see you. You look good.
But I've seen everything.
Real good, real hot.
Well, yeah, I feel good, and that I think is probably the most important part. But yeah, it turned out 15 pounds wasn't enough. I guess I don't know when I got this suit because I felt pretty heavy when I got the suit. I was like, I must have really been heavy. You know, sometimes you don't realize, I guess.
I said that to you before. Like, well, first things first, let me say this. I don't mean this conversation as triggering to anybody. We're not saying you got to lose weight. We're not saying you're overweight. I don't mean any of that. It's just, it was related to Pikmin Bloom. So if you're triggered or stressed out, I apologize. That's not what we're looking to have happen here from this conversation. But you are right, Deux. I remember thinking the same thing. When I was at my heaviest, like I said, 320, 330, I used to look at myself and be like, I know I'm heavy, but like it's not that bad. And then when I look back at pictures, I'm like, wow, I was really, really big. It seems stupid to be like 330. I was really big. Obviously, I was big. It's just when you're in it, you don't. I mean, that was my life. Not all my life, but like more than 2/3 of my life. I just was like, this is it, and that's how I look. So you get used to it. So it's hard to go the other direction where now I look at myself and I'm like, I still look big. And I know I don't look big, but that's just in my mind. What's that called? There's a phrase for it. Why am I blanking? Seeing yourself.
Like body dysmorphia?
Body dysmorphia. That's it. Yeah. A little bit of self-diagnosed body dysmorphia. But anyway. Well, you reached your goal and then some.
And the suit fits, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, for a reason to wear a suit. And I'm so happy you said this earlier, and I wish it was on camera or on the podcast. It wasn't. You ate your candy bar, and you said, well, it's all downhill from here. It's not. To celebrate your special weight loss goal,
what?
I got you your favorite cookie from Cookie Mate.
No way. The Captain Crunch cookie?
Yes.
The peanut butter Captain Crunch
peanut butter Captain Crunch cookie. I thought it'd be a great way to celebrate your goal and then some. I've been keeping track of their menu to see because they don't have that all the time.
Oh,
and I was like, man, if they have it this week, I'm going to get it no matter what day it is.
This is amazing.
They did not have it Wednesday. They didn't have it Thursday. They didn't have it Friday. I looked this morning when I woke up and they had it. And I was like, I got to go. So I got one for myself and had it. I hadn't had that before. I had a different cereal one. I had the Fruity Pebbles one, which was great. But
so
I had
that. Why I was going crazy, right?
Oh, my God. It was
so good.
So good. It was so good. It's a peanut butter. It's like a giant cookie made with peanut butter and peanut butter Captain Crunch. And then it's like, it's like a chocolate chip cookie.
It's very arresting too, because it's not fancy looking. It just looks like a plain beige cookie. You know, it doesn't look like anything. And then, oh my God, you try it. And the way the Captain Crunch kernels,
Hi, Fluffernutter,
they get soft and lend their flavor to the cookie, but the crunch is still there, and the texture on it is unbelievable. It's like a soft yet crunchy. I can't even explain.
You did not oversell it when you were describing it to me, because when I had it, I couldn't agree more that there's something about that texture that really works. But yeah, this cookie place is great in general, and they had my mom has been wanting lemon crinkles. But I was like, I don't think they're going to have them anymore because lemons, seasonal, all that crap. I was like, I can't imagine they're going to do lemon crinkles. They had them today. So I bought my mom 2 lemon crinkles and they're in the fridge. I don't know if they got to wait until Thursday, but I guess they'll be all right, but whatever. So I'll have those in my fridge torturing me until Thursday. I'll be like, oh, I wish. And Fluffernutter, thank you for sending moon pies in the chat. I am running very low on moon pies. I think I have 2 left. And they're both pumpkin spice. Yeah, they're both pumpkin spice. Very good stuff. But yeah, we need a trip out to go get some more moon pies. I wish I could go to Costco and get moon pies, but it's more of all weird places have them. It's like Five Below and Aldi has them. Aldi's not weird though, but nobody's like, let me go get my food shopping done at Five Below, but I'll take them wherever I can get them. All right, so there's your cookie. I hope you enjoy it whenever you enjoy it. Well, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll eat it after the show. Yeah. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
You got it.
I'm so excited. This is great.
You got a little bit of extra of there's some powdered sugar on there from the lemon crinkles that were in the box.
That's not going to harm it.
All right, and then the only other thing, man, things are so positive and happy now, and I'm going to go in a not sad direction, annoying direction. I talked about this on Patreon a little bit, but I thought I'd go into it more here. The internet is going absolutely insane with spoilers. And I know it's always been a thing, but in the last year or two, and I even want to say the last like 6 months, it's overdrive. It's insanity. So everybody knows anything. Hi, Radical Defect. Good to see you. Anybody that is interested in anything entertainment-wise, comic books, movies, TV shows, anime, books in general, doesn't matter. There's things, most of us will have things that we really look forward to, like the latest Marvel movie or the newest episode of, I don't know, Rick and Morty, whatever it is. And some of us really like to make sure that we don't have those things spoiled. And we go out of our way to avoid spoilers or learn details. And, games, of course, obviously video games like Super Mario Brothers Wonder leaked, or the street date was broken a few days before the game came out. And then, of course, people ripped the game and put it online, and then spoilers were everywhere. And I'm like, I don't want to see this stuff. You're like, this is such a pain in the ass, like dodging this stuff all over the place. And it's one thing if it's coming from just a random Joe, like I said, somebody buys a copy of the game early and they start spoiling it online. I don't like that, and it makes me annoyed, but they can do it. Go right ahead. It's not like I'm saying throw them in jail or anything. It's just frustrating. But my problem is lately, this is what we're getting from like outlets and publications. And, I want to say YouTube channels, and I know YouTube's a little different because for every company that has a channel on YouTube, there's somebody else or 10 other people who are just doing their own thing. but companies and outlets and YouTube channels are spoiling content for whatever before the public even has a chance to see it. Now, I'm not talking about like, a movie comes out and 2 hours later, somebody's got a breakdown in the movie with spoilers in the thumbnail or the title. Yeah, that's really annoying. I'm talking about things that are coming out before these whatever movies, TV shows, games come out for the general public. Like you have no possible way to play this game or no possible way to see this movie. And there's already spoilers for it from outlets that got advanced copies. Now, obviously, I get advanced copies of stuff. I don't spoil things, but I don't understand. I know it's a rat race online where it's like, we got to be the first to cover them. We got to be the first to get this out there. But now, like, I have to be so careful that even before something comes out now, I can't expect it not to be spoiled. Like, so what happened to me this week was, this is a great scratch Granimus. That's so good. That's so good. Right off the bat, a little quick sketch of the podcast. I love it. I know when the second season of Loki was getting ready for premiering, that press got to see the first 4 episodes of it. So I knew that weeks ago. And there were some spoiler articles and spoiler imagery, but nothing too terrible. But now that the 4th episode is out and the press hasn't seen what comes next, hours before that episode premiered on Disney Plus, there were spoilers from outlets, like in thumbnails and titles. And I'm like, you couldn't wait. Like, it was like, I saw one like 2 hours before the episode premiered. I'm like, you couldn't wait the 2 more hours. Like, even if you're going to go live right when the episode goes live, I think that sucks. But you couldn't wait 2 more hours. And then on top of that, why does it have to be in the title or the picture? Why? Like, where's your respect for your audience? I guess they don't care because they get more people clicking and reading than they do people who are like, why are you doing this? So,
do you think there's a percentage of people out there who are starting to just be desensitized to spoil? Like, they're like, I don't care that it was spoiled because I'm going to watch it anyway, or something, like, eventually? Or do you think it's like there's no outcry from people being upset about this? Or because I mean, I hate being spoiled, but I'm thinking maybe I'm not in touch with like the rest of society these days. Are people like enjoying spoilers? I mean, there's got to be reasons for these spoiler channels and all this kind of stuff.
Granimus says IGN spoiled Alan Wake 2 for them. There you go. Alan Wake 2 just came out yesterday. Literally came out yesterday. It's spoiled for them. You raise a great question, and I don't think there's like one answer. I think there are people like you and I who get annoyed. I think there are people who don't care, like you said. They're like, I'm going to watch it anyway, and they don't take it as serious. I don't want to say they don't take it as seriously. That just doesn't faze them as much.
Right.
Then on top of that, the outlets don't care. The outlets also see, like, when they do this, their engagement is up. Like, they get clicks or views, and they're like, it's worth it, versus the people who complain. There's also, plenty of people who are like, this is the internet. It's been the internet for a while. Like, I know if I'm going certain places on the internet, I'm putting myself at risk. But I'm just saying, like, I think there's been a considerable shift in not even giving the audience a chance to consume the content. We're getting spoilers in our faces before we even have a chance to interact with the content. And again, I'm talking about professional outlets, and I do include YouTube in that because there's professional YouTubers, certainly. But not just your average Joe doing crap and spoiling things because, chaos, of course. But outlets, you think they'd have a little bit of, they'd reserve themselves a little bit to, see, I want to say, like, to hold it until the episode comes out or the game releases or the movie comes out. And I don't care, 1201, put your crap up on the internet and spoil it. But can't we keep it away from the thumbnail images and the titles as well? Like, I don't want to name outlets, but as I said, I'm just going through my regular rounds for GoNintendo, and I'm hunting down news. And there's 2 hours before the episode came out, a massive spoiler about the end of episode 4 of Loki and what it means for one character in particular. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, I figured the episode was going to be a big one because they let the press see 4 of the 6 episodes. I'm like, episode 4 is going to be a banger when it comes to the ending. And I'm like, I made it 2 hours before the damn thing comes out. And
well, I got one for you. This is my own fault probably, but like,
hi Tony.
I'm not going to name the show, but there's this show that I really like. It's nothing that you've mentioned, and I was watching it, and the new episode came out, and I went to read the description when I should have just watched it. Mm-hmm. And the description said something like, whatever, and then at the end it was like, and the crew has to suffer a significant loss, and I was like, and it was so obvious which character was gonna die because they said that. Like, I could easily deduce that it was gonna be this person. I was like, I would have had an actual real emotional ending, because it was like an emotional ending, and I saw it coming, and I was like not into it as much. And that was the own channel that spoiled it for itself. It was
it's crazy. I guess just whatever metrics they have or whatever they see, and the results that they get from doing it shows them that it really doesn't matter. Versus spoiler people versus non-spoilers and people who don't care. They're like, majority of people don't care enough that it's spoiled. Or I guess that's not true. The majority of people want it spoiled because they're clicking. A, they care enough to click the article or watch the video to see what the thumbnail is about or what the title is about. And B, they don't care. They just don't care. So they like the show or the game enough, and they also don't care that things are spoiled going in. So, it's like those, Super Mario Brothers Wonder comes out, and Game Informer, before the game even came out, Game Informer put up a placeholder article saying, here's what happens when you collect all the things in the game, and like a countdown to when it was going to go live, which was right when the game was available. I'm like, this days before. I'm like, as soon as the game comes out, you can see what happens after you've done everything and seen everything. And I'm like, it's fine that it exists. And if you want to go see that, go ahead. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm like, this is nuts. Is this not nuts? Can't we I don't know. I guess I'm operating sacred differently from people because, again, I don't think it's wrong. And Game Informer didn't spoil anything in their thumbnail or their title, but it was a literal countdown for we weren't counting down to the game's launch. We were counting down to what happens after you've already seen and done everything in the game. And I'm like, this is crazy. But yes, I see comments in the chat of other people saying they've had things spoiled for them, and they get frustrated. That's why part of the reason why I stopped, not to name names, that one YouTuber we used to watch who covers a lot of comic book related shows, and he breaks stuff down and all that. He started doing some really horrendous thumbnails and other stuff in his videos, and I was like, I really liked him, but I backed off.
Yeah, because just like you said, the thumbnails were spoiling things for me in a show that I was like looking forward to watching that night, and it was like, what the heck?
And I mean, me, I'm looking forward to everything Marvel. So when every week, as soon as the episode of Loki ends, I'm like, can't wait until next week's Loki, and I think about it the whole time, and I had it ruined. And so when I watched this episode, I still love the episode. There were things that weren't spoiled, obviously, but I knew the grand outcome of what was going to be shown. And I'm like, this really sucks. I still had an emotional reaction and everything, but I'm like, I don't want to know this. I don't want to sit and watch the episode knowing where everybody's talking or what everybody's talking about and everything that's happening. I know what it's going to lead up to. And I'm like, this. So, that's my old man. As I said on, Patreon, that's my old man yells at cloud moment. I'm not saying it can't be there. I'm not saying we can't have those articles. I'm not saying we can't have those videos, but can we just keep it out of the thumbnail and the title, especially when the regular world, the average person, doesn't have a chance to interact with this content at all because it's not available to the public yet.
That seems like the best way to do it, because then people who don't want it spoiled don't have to have it spoiled, and the people who might not mind a spoiler can click through.
And I guess it's just, I don't want to go down this whole road, but it's obvious they're getting
maybe
clicks and attention, and the money's coming in. So that's why
somebody like you or I who get it spoiled for us and are upset will click on it because we're like, it's spoiled anyways, so we click.
Well, I didn't even click it. I got it spoiled from. I'm just saying they don't care, as I said, because their reader base or viewer base, their metrics show them that's the way to do it because they're getting the click-throughs, they're getting the attention, so it works for them. So that's why they keep doing it.
Do you have a memory of something that was spoiled for you, like anything like that jumps out at you? I've got a big one that I always think about when I think of spoilers. It was pre-internet age, but
it's happened many times, but this Loki one is just fresh in my mind, so I can't think of. If you give me a little bit, I could think of some other examples, but not off the top of my head. No, but you go right ahead.
It wasn't exactly pre-internet age, but it was spoiled in the classroom back in high school. Somebody spoiled Fight Club for me, like the twist in Fight Club, and that, like, I mean, I've seen that movie a bunch. I still love that movie, but it kind of took a little bit out of the sales of the first watch through, you know?
Oh, definitely with that movie. Yeah, it's like, like somebody spoiling Memento for you, or what is it? The Sixth Sense. Like, those are movies where, like, there's a notable twist that impacts the whole movie and how you see it. Exactly. Like, and Fight Club is one of those examples. Yep. So to have that that's horrendous. Yeah, that's really bad. I've had like I just had another spoiler. Like, I'm sensitive about wrestling spoilers too. Hi, Blood Ocean, because I don't want to hear that stuff until I get to watch the episode. And I've had other people just retweet things from so like I'll mute a WWE account or something like that, or accounts that talk about wrestling, and I'll have some random person retweet or read whatever you call it now, something that's wrestling related, and it's a spoiler, and I'm like, you've never talked about wrestling in your life. Why are you sharing this now? Like, I can't get away from it if I try. Yes, Anastasia Beaver hasn't. Fight Club does have a twist. It's true. And if you don't know what it is, we're going to keep it that way. So,
that Anastasia is just starting commotion. Earlier, they were saying that we spoiled the original 1993 Super Mario Brothers for them. So there has to be
spoiler alert. It's not very good. Mario rides a mattress down a pipe with like 7 princesses on it. So yeah, that's that. There's my complaints. I'm sorry you guys have also experienced that, and it seems recently too. Like was said with Alan Wake 2. And Alan Wake is a game where it's like very story centric. I love the story of the first game, so I'm very excited for the second game and to see where the story goes. I watched a recap of Alan Wake 1 story wise to get myself prepared for the sequel. Good. But yes, I've seen IGN posting things, and I'm like, nope. I like avert my eyes and get away from it, and because I really like Remedy's storytelling in their games. That's why I like their games, to tell you the truth. So yeah, I'm trying to dodge that. But every day that gets we're 1 day after the game launched, and I'm like, every day that passes, it gets more dangerous, which is true. But we're 1 day out, and it's already horrendous. So, and who knows when I'm going to get to play that? But that's that. All right. Oh my God, I can't believe it. First off, hello to my college roommate, my best friend from days gone by, Josh Grobot. Josh, how are you, my friend?
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Sorry, I forgot to say hi, Josh. I was so heated and so excited to give Deux the cookie and everything. And
thanks. Very cool.
It wasn't very cool of me, but I'll try harder next time. I apologize. Moving on to George. George, how are you doing?
Buongiorno.
George, for the first time in my life ever this week, I had key lime pie.
Oh my goodness. It's a green letter day.
George, I've been missing out. I don't know why I've never had key lime pie, but now I can't look back. It was incredible. It was amazing.
Now you get what my whole shtick is.
I do. Now I understand, because you're always at the ready to have someone else make key lime pie, or you make it yourself. I get it. I completely get it. In case you're curious, George, my mom got a recipe for key lime pie because Marvel.com put up their own recipe for key lime pie because key lime pie. Spoiler alert: key lime pie is part of Loki. So they put up their own recipe. My mom made it, and I was like, "Well, of course, I'm gonna try it." Delicious. It was delicious. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And Dude's got a slice waiting for him in the fridge right now.
This is such a great day for me. I couldn't be more happy.
I figured there would be no better way to celebrate your achievement of your weight loss, and it's the date that you were doing it for, and everything went well. So you got the candy bar, the cookie, and key lime pie. It's great. It's a great day.
We gotta
I hope you enjoy the key lime pie as much as I did.
Yeah, I love key lime pie, and I've liked everything that your mom's made. So
the only thing we all said was she just bought like a store made crust. She's like, I would do my own crust next time. Other than that, we thought it was great. Yeah. But look at that, beautiful Anastasia. Well, anyway, now that I said the hellos and embarrassed myself by not saying them earlier, let's get to some news. What happened in news this week? I don't remember. We're gonna find out together.
All right.
And here comes that news jingle. Okay.
Finally.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Nintendo this week put out updated community guidelines for a number of things, including tournaments and stuff you can show for their content online. I'm going to lump these two stories. Whoa. Hey, oh, I forgot I did that.
Is that Jigglypuff in Animal Crossing?
That is Jigglypuff in Smash Brothers
on an Animal Crossing stage.
I don't remember if that's the Animal Crossing stage. It might be the Super Mario Galaxy stage.
Okay, cool.
Yes, he's talking about the thumbnail for the article. So it was community tournament guidelines as well as image and video sharing guidelines. So they shared some updated stuff. And not surprisingly, the internet got a little bit angry about it because Nintendo does what Nintendo does, and they're going a little bit overboard. So when it comes to community tournament guidelines, they have updated a massive FAQ of what is and isn't allowed, and it's pretty wild. Like they go really down the rabbit hole with like what they do and don't want. Here you go. I'll give you a quick breakdown of the biggest points. Tournaments may not generate commercial revenue except as permitted by these guidelines. Tournaments may include up to 200 participants for in-person tournaments or up to 300 participants for online. Organizers that have reached a legal age of majority in their jurisdiction may collect entry fees from participants in an amount of not more than the equivalent of $20. So you can only get $20 per person. That's all that's allowed. Entry fees collected may be used for covering the cost of organizing the tournament and towards prizes as well. No prize may exceed $5,000. Total cash value prize of a single tournament in a 12-month period can be no more than $10,000. Here's a weird one. No food and drink. Can't have food and drink at these tournaments. Why? I don't know. I don't know why Nintendo thinks that shouldn't be allowed. Obviously, no modded versions of the game and all that stuff. Can't say that they're officially endorsed by Nintendo. That makes sense. Can't show off Nintendo products. Games with online play must use online gameplay services or servers officially provided by Nintendo, so you can't do your own thing. All that stuff. So
what's wrong with you?
I don't know. So this is going to greatly impact how tournaments happen going forward because, a lot of tournament for grassroots tournaments that are smaller, it's really not a big deal. But for tournaments that are bigger and wanting to bring in more people and stream online and get sponsors and sponsorships, now they're hamstrung. They are limited to what they are allowed to do. Now, what they can do, obviously, is contact Nintendo and be like, we'd like to run this tournament. Will you permit it? And Nintendo could say yes or no. But you would imagine Nintendo's going to say no because Nintendo's very strict about that kind of stuff. And these companies wouldn't be reaching out to Nintendo to be like, we want to run this tournament and we want you to sponsor, because that would probably be a flat out no. But they will have to contact Nintendo and be like, we want to run this tournament. It's going to be bigger than 300 people. Is this okay? And Nintendo decides based on who knows, whatever Doug Bowser feels at the day. And not Doug Bowser. He's not doing anything. It's, over in Japan. whatever Shuntaro Furukawa decides. So I don't know how Nintendo comes up with these guidelines or why they feel like these, monetary restrictions have to be in place, or why they don't want anybody to have food or drink at these events, or what happens if you don't follow these guidelines? Oh, I guarantee someone's going to find out. If Nintendo hears that this stuff is going on, you're going to get in trouble because you know the guidelines. So what kind of trouble? You're not going to jail or anything, but you're going to be, I think you could be held liable for a lot of stuff, I would imagine. So if you're planning to run a tournament, go check out Nintendo's guidelines and try and figure out why they're doing all this stuff, because I got no clue. And also, like I said, they changed how you can share images and videos of their content and how it can be monetized. And they don't want mods, and you're not allowed to monetize videos that have mods on them. And so we know Nintendo stands against mods and all that stuff. Not a surprise there, but Nintendo's really pushing harder now and being like, you can't be monetizing these videos. It's not allowed. Anything that's presented online on your YouTube channel or social media or whatever, it has to be legit, on the up and up. And if it's not, you're going to be in trouble. So Nintendo's just making it much harder for people to spread the word of their games. And I know Nintendo feels like they have to protect their family image and they have to protect their IP. And I certainly agree with a lot of that to an extent. But I don't know what Nintendo saw where they're like, we can't let them do tournaments that bring in more than $10,000. And we can't let them have sponsorships for these things. And we can't have tournaments that have over 300 people out there. That's not right. I don't know what data Nintendo has that makes them think that's something they need to say. But they do, and I completely disagree with that. Like, I disagree with that based on the knowledge I have now. If I could see why Nintendo's making these decisions, maybe I change my mind. But Nintendo's not going to say that stuff, so who the hell knows?
I mean, in the movie The Wizard, the Nintendo tournament at the end is the most exciting thing. Like, I remember being blown away, and I was like, "Why isn't this in every city across the country?"
It wasn't in every city, but it was across the country. That actually, like the Nintendo World Championships were a thing.
Nice.
B, that tournament in that movie was an official Nintendo tournament, so it's allowed. It wasn't just a random one. Think about how official it was. That was the first time anybody had played and seen Super Mario Brothers 3. So,
man.
But yeah, grassroots tournaments are, I'm not going to say there's not horrible people doing horrible things, sure. But there's a lot of great people doing great, fun events. And it sucks that Nintendo's squashing the ability for some people to do these. And again, I'm not one that is like Nintendo's horrible. They do everything wrong when it comes to tournaments or anything. I meet them halfway more than half the time because I can see where they're coming from with a lot of stuff. But with most of these guidelines that they've released, the updated guidelines, even I'm questioning, why are you doing this? Why do we need to be this strict? Why do you want to put such a stranglehold on this stuff? I don't understand it. Maybe Nintendo will be more permissive with these tournaments now that the guidelines are out and they're just looking for people to contact them through appropriate channels and get approval. Maybe that will happen. Only time will tell. But I think we all know that's right, Josh. I think we all know Nintendo enough to know they're probably not going to do that. But I hope I'm wrong. Oven Mitts says, these new rules are needlessly abrasive and stifle some of the company's biggest supporters. Why Nintendo would care about erroneous things like concession sales, or if a tournament has over 201 in-person competitors at once, is beyond me. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pushback from the community, and it's rightfully deserved. Yeah, I agree. There will be pushback. There's already been pushback. I think they stifle a lot of their supporters. I certainly agree with that. But here's the thing. This is the other way we have to look at it. Are tournaments popular? Yes. Smash Brothers tournaments are very popular. Yes, people watch them online. What does that mean to Nintendo's bottom line? Pretty much nothing. Like, Nintendo's audience is so huge, and us as gamers tend to think like, why don't they listen to us? Why don't they hear our voice? It's because really the people that are online and are riled up by this kind of stuff and complain about it are not the majority of the audience that's buying these games. Like, I'd be pulling numbers out my ass. I shouldn't speculate like that. But the vast majority of people who buy like Smash Brothers or Splatoon or whatever, they're not running tournaments. They're not watching tournaments online. Like, when tournaments are watched online, let's say it's a really big tournament. It's got 1 million viewers. Like, that's a drop in the bucket compared to what these games sell and the audience that they reach. And like, even you're going to get a fraction of that of people who are annoyed enough that they're like, I'm boycotting Nintendo. I'm not going to buy because of their rules. Like, everybody online vibrato and online vitriol is one thing. But we've all seen it happen before. People are like, I'm not buying this game because of X, Y, and Z. And then the companies announces that this game is the best-selling version of that game ever. So speaking out of both sides of their mouth, as they say. But yes, I do not agree with what Nintendo's doing here. I don't understand it. I would love to know more about it or why. But I've covered Nintendo for 20 years. I know they're not going to give those details.
Rules?
I hope I'm wrong. That's right. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be here. So that's where it stands now. The pushback's happening. It's not surprising at all. I will say, should I get into this? Maybe I will get into it, but I won't name names. Seems like a good way to do it.
Who do you think you are? I am.
There's a very big YouTube channel. They are a tech YouTube channel. I'll leave it at that. No, I'll say one more thing. Not too long ago, as in a few months, they were in some very big hot water for something that happened. It really turned me off to the channel. And to be honest, I used to like the channel a lot, but in the last couple of years, I've been like, something about this I don't like, and I decided to stop watching them. So I had stopped watching before this big thing happened, but then when that happened, I was like, I made the right decision here. So this channel, company, whatever you want to call it, has heard about the Smash Brothers rules, and they're like, you know what? We're going to do a tournament anyway. Bring it on, Nintendo, and you can sue us, and we'll take you to court, and we'll fight for the people. And it's like, I don't know any other way to say it other than it's like edgelord stuff. It's like, I get you being upset, and I get not agreeing with the rules, but like, do you really think you're doing something by being like, I'm going to throw a tournament anyway, Nintendo, come and get me? Like, it's silly. Like, it's embarrassing to me. Go ahead, do the tournament. It doesn't, I'm not saying don't do it. Go ahead. But to be like, we're going to take Nintendo on and win. You're not, and you're just like trying to be an internet tough guy. It's
not
silly.
A protest against the Vietnam War or anything.
Exactly.
Like,
this is my point. Yes. To be like, like this, I'm not even going to name specific events, but be like, I almost want to say, I need a button like H3 has. I want to say something and button it afterwards. But yeah, you're right. To be like, this is such a earth-shattering slight against humankind. We're going to put ourselves out there and, fall on our swords for this. It's a little bit embarrassing. Put together a documentary. Put together, try and reach out to Nintendo to talk to them. Make a video online that drags them factually rather than just being like, Nintendo's stupid, I hate them. Like, give me something of substance. Give me a video documentary or a well-written feature where I'm like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that needs to be out there. But be like, Nintendo, we're gonna do it anyway. Like, it's like, this is like, something like a kid on a playground would say. It's just, if you want to affect change, there's ways you can do it, and that's just going to be like, well, that Nintendo's going to see that and be like, this is why we've made these decisions, because there's people like this out there.
Yeah.
But that's that. There you go. Let's move on. Let's hope the rest of the news this week was fun. If you have a Switch Online membership, which you and I do, you've got
family.
Yeah,
family.
That's right.
Family.
You can hop on right now, and at no additional cost until October 31st, you can enjoy Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb, over 1 million units sold, a very popular game. Big hit. Animal Crossing meets religion and cults, and it's been a big hit. But yes, if you've managed to escape it or haven't had a chance to check it out, Switch Online, if you're a member, you can play it for free. It started October 25th, goes until the 31st. And then there's also a discount on the game as well that will go 1 week longer than the free opportunity. I think it's like 40% off or something. So get out there and try it. Just so you know a little bit more about the game. Step into the wool of a possessed lamb and start your own cult in a land of false prophets. Venture into diverse regions, build your community of woodland worshippers, and fight hordes of enemies to assert your cult's dominance and become the mighty lamb god. Maybe that's your pivot now that you've played Animal Crossing. You can try out Cult of the Lamb for free.
It kind of looks fun now. Like, and I've heard of the game, and much like Animal Crossing before I played it, it was a Do Michael's write-off. But now that you say it and I'm looking at it, maybe this is the perfect time to try it out.
It's free. Perfect for the season too. Human Fart says
additional cost.
That's right. It's not free. Human Fart says I own this game, but still need to check it out. Having a baby really hurts your game time and backlog. I've heard that babies ruin a lot of stuff. It's true.
We love you, Human Fart, but I just think it's funny that Human Fart's like, I can't play because I got a baby. It's just like Human Fart. I don't know. It's a great name. Like,
yes, father's name is Human Fart.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you stay young forever, Human Fart.
That's right.
I think you're. Yeah.
That's right. Perfect dad during the day, Human Fart at night. Moving on. Yeah, this is something else, man. This is an interesting one to talk about. So Nintendo is the arbiter of what is allowed on the eShop. They make their decisions based on whatever, and that's that. So if you see a game on the Switch eShop, that means Nintendo said it's passed the tests and the checks that it needed to. It is allowed to be on the eShop. So there's this game that came out. We actually mentioned it in our weekly releases, and it caught some attention. The game is called Need for Spirit Drink and Drive Simulator.
Uh-oh.
So here's what the game is about. You are a delivery guy, and you are driving your vehicle to deliver wine and spirits, alcohol, to whatever locations they need to be. Weddings, birthday parties, other celebrations of that sort. You got to get it there in time. Fine. The problem is the driver, apparently is an alcoholic, and he can't help himself from drinking the drinks. So that's part of the mechanic. Like, I think drinking the drinks will make it changes how the car operates in some way, but there's drawbacks and positives to it, whatever. But the game is about drinking and driving. That's what it's about. The developers say it, quote, offers a humorous take on a serious subject. And they also state that, quote, it's clear the game does not endorse or encourage drunk driving in real life, end quote. So I am straight edge, as you guys know. I don't drink. I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking. It's just not my thing. When I saw this game on the eShop, I was like, ugh, that's kind of strange. But I didn't think the game should be removed. It has a right to be there. It's rated. I'm just like, this is really awkward subject matter. Again, I don't think it should be removed at all by any means. It's just, sometimes you see, like, should this really be?
It's strange because, there's countless games like GTA 5 where you're shooting and killing and picking up prostitutes and like all these other things that we deem, illegal most of the time. And and you can get drunk and drive in that game. But the thing that makes it so strange is like, this game is specifically for drink driving, and I feel like that's in society an easier thing to be like, I can drink and drive, because no one
do it all the time.
Most likely, RMC, you're not going to go outside and be like, I'm going to shoot this guy and steal his car.
Most likely not. But like somebody would be like, it's just a drink and a drive. Like, I got to get home, or so, so I think, not that it's encouraging that. I'm not trying to be a baby. Like, we've got way worse games. We've got war games. So like, how can you argue against it? So certainly there's plenty of games with violence and sex and all that stuff. And again, I'm not saying that content shouldn't be there. I'm not saying it's inappropriate. It's fine. I'm all about freedom of expression through art. I consider video games art. So yeah, go ahead. It's just, with like Grand Theft Auto, shooting and drinking and sex and all that, they are in the game and you can do them. And they are part of the story for certain characters, but it's not like, I don't think it's glorifying it. It's just there. Like, it's the story they want to tell, the mechanics they want. Whereas this game, the whole focus of the game is the drinking and driving, and it's kind of the idea of turning that into a game to be humorous.
Yeah.
Again, I think it has every right to be there. I would never call for it to be removed. I'm just saying subject matters. There's just something where I'm like, like it makes me uncomfortable. But again, I would never, ever say it should be removed, ever. It's an interesting topic to talk about because exactly the avenue that you took, Deux. There's plenty of games where people drink and shoot and have sex and, misogyny and whatever you want. There's plenty of that stuff out there. It's just usually we don't see games where they take one of those things, make it the main mechanic, and I don't want to say glorify it because I don't know. Maybe this one is kind of glorifying.
Because just from the tone of what it seems like the game is, I doubt there would be any kind of character development. Like, I'm sure you're not going to learn much about this guy driving the car. You probably won't, have to ever go see like a shrink or have to face your drinking problem or anything. There's probably not going to be a story like that. It's probably just going to be like drinking, here's.
Yeah, it seems from what I've seen in the trailer and the screenshots that it's very much an arcade experience. It's like, get the booze there and drink a little. Yeah. So it's a little strange. Storbus Corbin says it is really immoral to drink and drive, but I also heard there are games you can actually kill other people in. So yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. There's, I don't know if it's my sensitivity to the subject. Maybe it's not, maybe it is, but there's just something about this game and this being the mechanic that feels off to me. And I guess it's not just me because there's been a big uproar about the game in general. So, the game got removed from the Switch eShop in Europe. Now, this, I think, was the right thing to do. It got removed from the Switch eShop in Europe because it was rated PEGI 3+. So, in other words, the game was rated appropriate for children 3 and up. Really? I don't understand how you could do that. Like, it's alcohol. So it was yanked and it was being re-rated as either, at the very least, PEGI 16, but maybe PEGI 18.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't understand how you could have it. I don't know what happened there. Some sort of miscommunication about what the game was or what it offered, and the PEGI rating people didn't do their job or whatever. But yeah, a game where you can drive and get drunk, and that is the purpose of the game, and features alcohol. Yeah, that shouldn't be rated appropriate for everyone 3 and up. But so it was yanked and it's being re-rated and will return. Because PEGI's own rules say any game that refers to or depicts the use of illegal drugs, alcohol, or tobacco must be 16 or 18. So drink and drive. I mean, I couldn't get any more clear cut than that. So somebody made a mistake there and the game got rated inappropriately. So it was yanked like maybe a day after it came out. So that's good. But yeah, with the appropriate rating there, I think it has every right to be on the Switch eShop. It's just an interesting topic for discussion because I don't know how I feel about it. The Shafe says it always bugged me how many tidied up mobile phone ports got onto the eShop. Even the Kairosoft titles, many of which I enjoyed on my phone, cost a whopping $14 in the eShop when they are usually worth, and on Android actually cost less than half that. Yacht Club charged me $15 for the original Shovel Knight campaign. These mobile phone companies need to check themselves. So the Shafe is angry about this game for a completely different reason. It's mobile shovelware and they're jacking up the price. So, that's a whole different topic, but that's certainly one people have all the time. If you have Switch Online expansion pack, so if you have if you went all out on your Switch Online, then you've got a new N64 game to play. Mario Party 3 is finally available. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know when. A few days before it arrived, Nintendo announced that it would be launching on October 27th. So it's out there now. If you really loved Mario Party 3, which I believe was the last Mario Party on the N64, you could play it again. And now with online play. So hop in there and play all your favorite mini games wear your Nintendo designed glove so you don't wear a hole in your palm trying to play some of these games.
Nice.
More than 70 games in this collection, like TikTok Hop, Eats a Pizza. Oh, I remember Eats a Pizza. I remember that one a lot. Vine with Me. I remember these. Eyesore, Picture Imperfect with Toad's face, Snowball Summit. No pushy penguins here, but they can't all be winners. But yeah, Switch Online. There you go. Get out there and enjoy it. Like I said, play it local 4-player like you used to back in the day, or hop online with some friends. I would love to play Mario Party with my sister now that we have a great relationship. I want to see if that would ruin it.
No, it would be fun.
I think it would be fun. But boy, back in the day, it was not fun. But we did it all the time. It was fun, but it wasn't fun.
You just needed anyone to play with. You know,
yes.
All you had was her.
It's true. Yeah. I saw a TikTok of somebody playing one of the Mario parties lately, and the person in last place had no stars, and the person in first had 8, and it was the last round of the game, and they landed on one of those Bowser spots that like can get you anything, and the only way for them to possibly win would be to swap between those two characters and swap for stars, and that's exactly what they rolled. They had to roll like 3 different sets of dice to make it happen, and they got it each time.
Oh my god.
And the explosion and laughter and like happiness from one side of it. So from the 3 people, so the loser and the 2 guys who weren't going to win no matter what,
right?
Their happiness and laughter versus the
anger,
like blood curdling screams and anger from the other guy. It was a great clip. It was so good. But I've been there. Mario Party is a rough game. It's the friendship tester unlike any other. So if you want to test your friendships or maybe even some family relationships, go play Mario Party 3.
Yeah, I always thought back in the day that Mario Party was an advanced version of the conspiracy that I had in my own head, because when I would play as a kid, if I would be doing better, like in a sports game, I always felt like the computer would step up the AI, and I was like, this, like, you know, if I was playing bad, they would be playing bad too. Like I get frustrated about things and yell at the TV. And then when I played Mario Party, I was like, I think they're controlling all of this.
Somebody's pulling the strings behind the scenes here. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, as you know, it's been available for a week and 1 day as of today. And Nintendo isn't really sharing any specific sales numbers because they usually don't. But they did share a little detail about how the game's doing in Europe. According to Nintendo themselves, over in Europe, within its first 3 days of sales, Super Mario Bros. Wonder has become the fastest selling Mario title in European history. So you name literally any other Mario game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder has sold faster than it. So we don't know what the total is for Europe.
I'm gonna win.
But we know that it's selling at a faster rate than any other. There's a little bit of worry from Nintendo fans who clearly don't listen to this podcast because the UK sales figures came out and Spider-Man was 1 and Mario was 2. And what do I always say on this podcast? UK is PlayStation territory. So it wasn't surprising that Spider-Man beat out Mario, but Mario will have the longer tail without a doubt. But yes, here's your picture for all of Europe. And you know, Mario has beat, I mean, you can't ask for any better than beating first 3 day sales of any other Mario game. So literally it's at the top. Like you can't get any higher than the top.
I got it.
We also saw numbers in Japan. It was the best selling Mario game for the Switch in Japan. And it sold like 650,000 or something like that. That was just physical copies in its first week, but really it's the first 4 days. So no other Mario game on Switch had sold that quickly. And then of course people are like, but is it the best selling Mario game ever? Mario Brothers Wii and Mario Brothers DS sold over 900,000 copies at launch in Japan, but we didn't have digital back then. So really, without Nintendo's digital numbers, we don't know. Odds are, yes, it was the best-selling Mario ever in Japan, or the fastest-selling, but we don't know. Nintendo's financial information is coming out the first or second week in November. When will that end? It'll end October. So we should have some Mario data in there so we can get a better idea. Yeah. So we'll find out. We'll find some piece of the puzzle out. But yes, the game is doing very well. It's #1 on the eShop. Whatever. So setting records. Surprise, surprise, the Mario game's selling well.
Surprise, surprise.
Entropy says Wonder on. We should add that to the soundboard. Entropy says Wonder on Switch, Spider-Man on PS5, Spider-Man 2, and Starfield is, well, it's played by many GP subscribers, Game Pass, but apparently did very well in sales too. So it looks like some healthy competition is on here. Yeah, Starfield sold, last I heard, over 10 million, and it was the quickest Bethesda game to ever do that. So yeah, it's doing well for them. This year for games in general has been crazy, but yes, as we go into holiday season, things have only been picking up. So very, very, very exciting to be a gamer right now because there's plenty to choose from. And there's more to come. Moving on. We got North America. I'll tell you, what did we get this week? Actually, hold on. Was this what I did? One moment, please. Yes, okay. I covered 2 stories in one. We're good. All right, North America. Let me tell you. Did I not make Europe a top story? How embarrassing. Why did I miss that? I'll have to go in and take care of that.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I apologize, Josh. That's your shtick, too. Well, first, let me tell you what came out in North America. Just Dance 2024 edition. Dave the Diver. Remember, there is a demo for Dave the Diver. The award-winning Dave the Diver. Hugely successful Dave the Diver. If you want to see if that game's for you, go play the demo. Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story that comes out November 1st. Headbangers Rhythm Royale. That's the music-based mini-game collection with pigeons. 30 sport games in one. Ace Robot Combat. Alive Paint. Alpha Particle. Animal Hospital. Animal Kart Racer 2. Arcade Archives Blandia. Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures. Blub. Bus Simulator 2023. City Driver. Car for Sale Simulator 2023. Car Mechanic Wash. Car Flipper. Colors and Their Meanings. Comet Striker DX. Desolatium. Dog. Just dog. DreamWorks Trolls Remix Rescue. Easy Learning Classical Music. Enchanted Portals. Even If Tempest Dawning Connections. Frog Detective The Entire Mystery. Fusion Paradox. Get Me Out, Please. Gordian Quest. Great Ambition of the Slimes. Gungrave Gore Ultimate Enhanced Edition. Halloween Bubble Shooter. Halloween Games for Toddlers and Babies. Hamster on Rails. Hana Awase New Moon. Multiple chapters there. 4 different volumes to get. Harvest Life plus Castaway Paradise. 2 games in one. Hero Survival. Horror Gallery. Horror Tale 2 Samantha. Illuminaria. Jump Race Fly Bundle. Kickback Slug Cosmic Courier. Kraken Odyssey. Letters to Heaven. Lumiere Magna. Makoto Wakaido's Case Files Trilogy Deluxe. Murder is Game Over. Mystery Lover. Nyanzu and Kumakichi Let's Make a Flower Garden. Paintball 3 Candy Match Factory. Paper Dash Ghost Hunt. Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures Deluxe. Save the World. Seaside Driving. Space Games Galaxy Attack. Space Storeship. Spin Rhythm XD. Springtime Hike. Suika Game, the game that needs no introduction. Tanuki Justice. The Kitty in the Trapping Garden. Trip World DX. Triple Zombie Collection. Varenhe. Visco Collection. Wallachia, Reign of Dracula. Wet Steps. Zeladia, Rise of the Space Pirates X2. And finally, Yahtzee, but not the one you think it is. This is YATZI.
Oh.
Human Fart, back again. They say, so pumped for Dave the Diver. I've heard great things. So have I. Haven't had a chance to play yet, but so have I.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get you
I've got it all.
You brought it up?
I have everything. I got it all.
All right.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of October 26th, the year of our Lord, 2023. This is Deux Michaels filling in for the incomparable Nicky Hill. Nicky Hill, we speak your name.
I also made it a top story. It's fixed. I apologize.
The next big slate of games is here. Acrylic Nails.
Hell yeah.
Animal Kart Racer 2. I don't know what game they're trying to rip off, Animal Crossing or Mario Kart, but
both.
They're doing
Go for both.
They're doing it. Another World Mahjong Girl. A Perfect Day. Archetype Arcadia. Bubble Shoot Farm. Bus Simulator 2023 City Driver. Castaway of Steels. Cats and the Other Lives. Colors and Their Meanings. Composer World. Dave the Diver. Dreams of a Geisha. Druid Walker. Egg Console Thexter PC8801MK22SR.
Perfect.
Enchanted Portals. Even If Tempest, Dawning Connections. Frog Detective, The Entire Mystery. Garden Buddies. Get Me Out, Please. Golf, Hole 2. Gordian Quest. Great Ambition of the Slimes. Hamster on Rails. Hannah Awaze New Moon. Is that how you pronounce that?
Good enough.
There's 3 versions of the Hana Awase New Moons. There's the Himeyatuksugi volume, there's the Iroha volume, and of course, what collection would be complete without the Karakurene Utsutsu volume?
Perfect.
And just when you thought there were 3 volumes, there's a 4th volume that I missed, Mizuchi volume. Have fun together. Horror Gallery. Horror Tale 2, Samantha. Jujubos. Jump, Race, Fly, Bundle. Just Dance 2024 edition. Kickback Slug, Cosmic Courier. Lamphead. Latte Stand Tycoon Plus. Letters.
You're right over there.
Letters to Heaven. Long Run. Lumiere Magna. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. Nyanzo and Kumikachi, Let's Make a Flower Garden. Paintball 3, Candy Match Factory. Paper Dash, Ghost Hunt. Pickleball, Smash. Seaside Driving. Space Games Galaxy Attack. Space Storeship. Spin Rhythm DX. Springtime Hike. Squid Commando. Suika Game. Swap Shot.
We Suika your name.
Tappy Word. Tappy Word 2. The Ghost X Sniper Simulator. The Kitty in the Trapping Garden. The Little Mermaid Visual Harmony. The Love Date Simulator with Girls. Barenhei, Don't Touch the Berries.
That's great.
Visco Collection.
Some people like when the berries are touched, but I guess not.
Varenhei. Don't touch the
Don't
berries.
touch the berries. I said Varenhei.
Warm Snow. Wet Steps. World of Horror. There are no comments. Thank you for listening.
It's my fault. My fault. I didn't make it the top story. By the way, if you are looking for a game that is actually spooky, like unnerving, uncomfortable, I played the early version of World of Horror. I haven't played the final version, but I played the early version. It's a creepy game. It's very uncomfortable. You're solving like weird mysteries in weird. You're trying to solve them. You have to solve a certain amount before a certain time in the game, or the world ends. And they're all very uncomfortable. It's a very unique game. Watch a trailer first because it is unique, but if you're looking for something spooky while we lead into Halloween, I highly recommend that. It was awesome. I really liked that game. But I need to check out the full one on Switch. Thank you very much, Deux. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, we got one more top story. So, as you probably know, our new voice actor for both Mario and Luigi is Kevin Afghani, as was announced by Mr. Afghani on X a few weeks back. We surmised that Nintendo knew that the game had been the street date for Super Mario Brothers Wonder was broken. They knew that some people already had the game in their hands, and they knew that data miners would get into it and the game would get leaked and all that information would come out. So they said, again, speculation. We thought Nintendo was like, hey, go ahead. You can announce that you're Mario and Luigi, because they were like, people are going to find out anyway now. All speculation. But the gang over at Wired talked to, I believe it was Wired. Yes, talked to Doug Bowser. And they were like, hey, Mario and Luigi, kind of a big deal that they got new voice actors. And the guy was announced as a new voice actor, but there wasn't much fanfare. Like, you guys didn't really do anything big. Like, what's going on? And Bowser had this to say. Quote, we want people to enjoy the gameplay experience. And if they enjoyed the voice behind the gameplay experience, that's what's most important to us. Not necessarily highlighting Mario's actor.
The game is fun.
So I don't know. You could read into that a whole bunch of ways. That's pretty much any statement. But very Nintendo to be like, we don't really care about the people behind the scenes getting their names out there. We want people to enjoy the game. And if they enjoyed the game or the work of the voice actors, that's great. Because what we want is for them to enjoy the game first, and the other stuff is superfluous. It's a very Nintendo thing to say. Like, they like labor for art. They put the art out there, and if people enjoy it, that's what matters. So I get that. But on the other side, it's like that Charles Martinet got a little too big for his britches. Name got out there a little bit too much. We're going to get rid of him and get some other guy.
I didn't even read it like that, but that's an interesting way to read it.
It's my own interpretation. But
oh, no.
You
really?
would seem like...
There's no way.
No, I don't think so. But really, the counterpoint is it's a new voice of Mario. It deserves a little bit of fanfare.
It should be a big deal. Yeah, it should be kind of a big deal. I mean, they made a bigger deal over Chris Pratt voicing him in the movie than this was.
Yes, and I'm guessing that's because of Universal. I can't imagine Nintendo would have been like, we got to get Pratt out in front of this. Because Nintendo was probably like, oh, God, when people find out it's Chris Pratt. But, in reality, I lean more towards Nintendo doing what Bowser said, where they're like, we care more about the experience and people enjoying it. And if they like it, that's what matters to us. But I still think Nintendo could have done a little more rather than letting the voice actor himself tweet about it or X about it and leaving it at that. Like, do so. Like, I don't care if you put one tweet out on your official Twitter account or your X account. Be like, here he is, everybody, the new voice of Mario and Luigi, Kevin Afghani, and then that's it.
I mean, I think they should have had, a giant party and had like Martinet give a golden Mario cap to Kevin, and have it be like a passing of the torch or something. I mean, it's a little overkill, but it should be that kind of special. I'm not saying do it with every character ever, but Mario's a big deal.
Yeah, you would think so. But then again, like, it is very Nintendo to do it the way they did it. Because, only us dorks and nerds know that, like, Martinet was the voice of Mario. And, like, we know who Miyamoto is and all that. Like, the general public that interacts with the Mario game doesn't care. They're just like, they don't think, maybe they'd play the game and be like, Mario sounds different, but maybe they wouldn't too. Or to a greater point, they don't care. Like, they're not even thinking about it. So, it's just for the dorks online. And I'm one of those dorks. Don't get me wrong. I think he should have gotten a little more attention. I understand Nintendo's approach, but still, I really do think they could have done something a little bit more. But they did it a very Nintendo way. I'm not saying the way they did it is wrong. I'm saying it's not the way I would have done it, but I don't run $1 billion company. So what do I know? Kuribo says they are also aware of how toxic the internet would be So I prefer a low-key reveal. I think Kevin's work on Super Mario Wonder is great. That's also a good point. The internet is toxic, and maybe they were like, we don't want, because if Nintendo announced it and whatever, they would have went to this guy's profile and been like, "You stole Martin A's job. I'm gonna kill you, and your family deserves to die." That's
another great point. I didn't even think of that either, and that should have been the first thing thinking of.
You are exactly right. It's the first thing I should have thought of. I don't know why I didn't think of that aspect too, but yes,
obviously people are gonna, because I mean, all that voice actor stuff that we've been talking about has been nothing but trouble.
Yeah. So I guess maybe Nintendo considered all of these avenues, and they were like, the best thing to do is not do anything at all, and I guess that's true. They're like, Mr. Afghani, they're gonna know when they play the game, but if you want them to know before, it's yours to run with, and then I guess so. I don't know. There's all kinds of NDAs and deals signed that we don't know the details of either. So who knows? But all these things are good to consider. All of them are speculation. The only thing we know for a fact is what Bowser said. So you could also read that and take it as the complete explanation. You got everything you want. So I don't know. But
I don't know.
Fans, kind-hearted fans, believe Mr. Afghani deserved a little bit more. So
we'll get to this. I'm enjoying Wonders so immensely, and I think the voice work has been fine. We'll get to it.
That's our top stories. We can talk about what we were playing too. What have you been playing?
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, cool.
Perfect segue.
So I played a little Fortnite with the boys, and it's still a good time. Could be a little spookier, in my opinion. Everything in the game is fun, and we're still having a great time, but just because it's
scariness do you want? We get killed by Jack Skellington all the time. Every time I see him, I get frightened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole map should be scary. I feel like it has been spookier in past seasons.
As far as Fortnitemares go, this season of Fortnitemares has been lacking in the spooky settings. I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't feel even much like
spooky characters. I think it's been good because you get Jack Skellington and Michael Myers, the two great ones. But I agree. Settings and environment, yes, it's lacking this year. They got the pumpkin launcher back and the Halloween candies out and all that.
Broom.
The broom is great, yeah. But as far as like a spooky environment, there's not really.
Last year, or maybe it was the year before, there were ghosts, right? Like when you died, you became a ghost, and you did so. I wasn't I like the gameplay now better, but it was nice to have that kind of like spookiness going on. But still having fun. Not going to stop playing, and I started playing Suika Game this week. Suika Game, I guess, is watermelon game.
Yes.
It's great.
Are you going to tell the story of how you first played it?
I guess I should. Yeah.
It's a great story.
So I remember it being mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, but I didn't think much of it. And Mom Brain was going to get it or something, and she kept like saying to me, like, you got to play this Suika Game. Like a couple of times she said it over the week. And when I came over on Tuesday, she was just like, oh, here's my Switch, play Suika Game. And I wasn't even going to do it actually, but I was like, you know what? I'll play around. And, on Tuesdays we come over and like watch a movie, and I played through the entire movie. Like I tried it. The only reason I stopped is because her Switch battery died, but that's the best part.
You played it like to the battery's death. That was great.
Yep. I played it until the battery died, and it's one of those games where it's just very simple. It's great to just like, you can listen to a podcast or something while playing it. Doesn't need your full attention. And it's one of those just one more games. Like just one more time, like it's tough after a game of it to not start a new one. But yeah, it's very simple. It's kind of like a Tetris setup where you're dropping things from the top, but you're dropping fruit, and you match doubles of fruit to make a bigger fruit, and you try to make the biggest fruit kind of thing. I'm not describing it well, but it's very addictive, and it's only $3. $3.
And there was a free Halloween update too.
Yeah, there's a cool little Halloween update where instead of building up to become a watermelon, you build up to become a jack-o'-lantern. It's very cute. But yeah, great game for just like sitting down and glazing over and thinking about anything else if that's your thing. Or so I highly recommend it. And for $3, you can't go wrong.
So the Switch eShop charts I do every week on Friday. Mario there's 2 charts to do. There's the overall downloads and there's the eShop only downloads. And Mario was number 1 overall, but on the eShop only downloads, Suika Game was number 1, like straight to the top one. So because it officially released stateside as of late last week. So people know about it and it shot right to the top.
It's priced perfectly because I don't know. I'm getting so much playtime out of it, but like for $3, I mean, even if you're not crazy about it, it's just a great game to have on hand for a little time wasting. It's a lot of fun, and there's a song that plays through it that's really good too. I don't, if I'm playing for a long stretch of time, I might not listen to it over and over and over again, but the song is great. So yeah, Suika Game, I definitely recommend that. And then, of course, I've been playing Super Mario Wonder, and it's the best. It's the best Mario ever, in my opinion. So far, I'm just over the moon about how much fun I'm having in it. I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, RMC. I'm like not moving forward until I get all the coins and the check marks and all that stuff. And man, just the things that you never get bored. You'll never get tired. Every single stage is something cool and exciting. And I mean, just recently I got a slow motion Wonder Seed, and it was like watching the animations of everybody in slow mo, because the animation's so great, but because you're playing, sometimes you're not always focusing on it.
Yeah.
But when it was in slow motion, oh my God, you're just relishing in every single animation, and they're all so beautiful. All the new enemies, there's just so many new enemies, and
there's
they're
a
all
ton
great.
of new enemies.
And there's like I mean, everything is just done so well and fun, and it's colorful, and the amount of layers in the background of each stage, there's like sometimes 4 or 5 different layers. And yeah, I don't know. I am just really digging the game, everything about it. I should have wrote down some things I wanted to say, because there's countless things that I want to say about it.
Well, it seemed like you want to say something about the voice acting.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I don't mind the voice acting at all. I'm not thinking about the voice acting, I guess. So it's not, I have changed characters. I've tried every character out, and I like being Peach, and I like being Mario, and I like being any of the Toads or Toadette, but I don't care for Luigi or Daisy. And I think it's mainly because, every action in it, it's like a hoo ha hoo chaka hoo, and like the ones that Luigi and Daisy do were a little more grating. I don't know why I don't really notice it when I'm playing as any of the other characters I mentioned, but when I was playing as Luigi and Daisy, it was kind of irritating me. And I don't think that's necessarily like the voice actor's fault. I think it's just because you're doing the same thing, and it's like a soundbite that plays over and over and over. So maybe I'm a little sensitive to that, whatever it is. If we're talking like a new Luigi's Mansion game, I'd look forward to seeing what Kevin can do with it. But so it's not really a critique on the voice acting. It's more just like the sounds that they used were kind of annoying, and you have to listen to them a lot. So I stick with Mario mostly.
You know what I like in the very beginning, when the first story comes up, you get some of that. Mario and Luigi talk to each other. Like I like when they're like, "Let's go." I heard a little bit of that, and I was like, "Oh, I love that kind of stuff." So he's done his homework. Kevin's done his homework. So, there was. Did I talk to you about the HD Rumble and the music it plays?
No,
you got to do this. So you know how there's quite a few levels. Sorry, let me sit up. There's quite a few levels where there's the music note blocks, like they're red, blue, yellow, and you run on them and they're like, or play whatever song. Mute your TV or your headphones, put your controller on a hard surface and run, and it uses the different frequencies of the HD Rumble to play music.
Can I do I have to use the Joy-Con setup
no, it works on Pro. Pro's got
Pro
HD Rumble. Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing.
It's awesome. And it changes. It's
so cool.
It's not the same for every block setup. It's like however the blocks make noise in the game when you run and you hear it in the controller, that's the same thing. And again, the controller doesn't have a speaker. It's just spinning the motors at different revolutions to do different frequencies. And it's awesome.
What an amazing touch. Did you find that out yourself?
I did not find that out myself. I heard it from someone on Patreon. I forget who it was. But when I first started playing, I could feel the difference in the vibration, and I would have tried it because, I'm a nerd with that stuff. But right away when I got to those, because you come across those blocks very easily.
Put it on a surface and move you have to move Mario.
Yeah, or you can hear it too, even if you just hold it in your hands. But if it's vibrating off of a table, you hear it better. So
man, that's so cool. Yeah, there's a couple of little music related ones. Like you talked last week about or maybe you didn't, but the very second level, the Wonder Seed makes all the piranha plants sing a little thing for you, and that part is amazing. And
I just love the the use of music in general. There's every level when you're running versus when you're walking or standing still, it has things that come in or drop out depending on that.
Yep.
And I love that. And the the use of instruments for the sound effects for characters jumping and power-ups coming out.
Yeah.
I love it. And the drum noise for when you do a butt stomp, when it's and then the cymbal crash.
It's great.
I love it. I love that stuff.
All those little touches are so great. And like you said, when you become an elephant, the whole level gets a kind of more like a bassoon kind of bombastic kind of feel to the music. And all those little touches are there that, some of them are so subtle too. I think the pitches of certain things coincide with the music. I'm pretty sure that's how it exactly happens. But yeah, it's just so wonderful. I don't know. I'm just at the fourth world. I guess I finished the fourth world today.
I'm going into the fourth world.
Oh, you are? Cool. Yeah, there's a great rhythm. It's one of those break time. You know how some of the levels are called break times and they're very short.
Yes.
There's one that you're really gonna like that's music related. That in there.
Yeah,
that I think you're gonna like.
Only had one break time level so far, which was the one with the coins exploding, and it played a classic Mario 3 song, and I was like, oh that was great. So I'm excited to see what else comes from that. Yeah. Spoiler alert. I also love finding the hidden exits with Captain Toad just hanging out.
Oh yeah.
And he's off on a platform somewhere, and he's like, hey, look at that thing down there.
You hear
How do
his
you get there?
Music.
Yeah. I love all those little secrets in games. So finding, a pipe to go down that you can't see behind a bush or something like that. I love it.
I love all that stuff. And what's cool is it gives you a little bit of that classic Mario, because there were areas in Mario games when you could warp to another world and peek out and stuff, and it's kind of a similar thing here.
Yeah, they brought back things from Super Mario Brothers 3 and World that we haven't seen since those games. Like I said last week, when you complete a castle, it's a mix of what you would get in Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3. You get a little scene of the kingdom people, the Flower Kingdom people being happy, or a little animation, but then you also get a little bit of text too. So I know that was in Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3, but just something about how they handle it feels like a combination of those two things, and I really like it. So
yeah, I love that. When I first heard the flowers talking in the trailer and stuff like that, it wasn't ruining anything for me, but I was I was kind of like, what? That's got to be a placeholder voice, just because it didn't feel like it was from the same world. It seemed too like game showy or something like. But then playing the game and all the great things that the flowers say all over the place, I've really come to not just tolerate the voice, but actually enjoy the voice. And I know your feelings on it, but it's brought me around. I've come around on the voice and of the flowers, and like I said, they've got such personality that it makes it makes it fun. And you always want to know, like, if I see a flower somewhere, like I always like try to run past it and see what it's going to say and things like that.
When there's levels where you're like falling through the sky and flowers are falling by you, I'm like, I want to hear what it's going to say. I gotta like fly over to it or run to it.
Yeah, sometimes
I
they
love
say
the flowers.
Great things.
The one that I found, I'm sure you probably found it too. He's on the top of a screen that you can't see, and you don't even know he's up there, and you run by, and he says something like, "I'm trying to sleep up here," or something like that. I love him. Or the one that's hidden in the dark, and you can just barely see his eyes, and when you walk by, it's like, "Oh, you found me," or something like that. I love that stuff. I absolutely love the flowers. I think that adds so much personality and like just a whimsical nature to it. And gameplay wise, it doesn't mean anything, but as far as vibe and overall feeling, I absolutely adore it. So yeah, I love finding out what those flowers are going to say. And I love that, like, levels don't have flowers saying the same things. They're all saying different things in each level. So that's great.
Yeah, that stuff is what really makes it. And it's a very small but nice I guess diversion of the original formula is there's not like a castle at the end of each world, like there's something, but like it's not always a castle, or it's not always a warship or something.
You know what else I like? No timer.
I
just
love that.
Go and explore all you want. I love it.
Just go in there and take your time doing it, because you want to explore it all. It just is so wonderful. Oh God, that's so dumb.
That's the word must have kept coming up during development.
It's great. I absolutely love this game. For me, it's the best 2D Mario ever, and it might. I mean, I don't know. I'm having so much fun with it. I can't say it's my favorite Mario game ever, just because there's so many great Mario memories that I have that are gonna be in my heart. But this one, oh my God, just so much fun.
We'll see where it goes when I've wrapped the adventure in you too. But I'm at the same place. I feel like it's like pretty easily the best 2D Mario, which is saying a lot. But yeah, when it comes to 3D, it's like, for me, Galaxy 1 and 2 are the pinnacle of 3D Marios, and this would be right up there with it for 2D Marios. So I couldn't be happier so far. I really don't have any complaints at all. My only complaint is that I don't have the time to play it like I want to. So, but it's funny. The last time I played for like an hour and a half, and I stopped and I was like, that was like the most just pure fun game session I've had in a long time. I was like, it was just flat out fun, where I stopped and I was like, that was a really good time. And I only stopped because I had to go to bed. And I was like, it was just pure fun. And I can't think of the last time I experienced that from a game where it's just flat out 100% fun. Like
the whole time it's been 100% fun. There haven't been any levels that I thought were ever phoned in or not creative or too difficult to even enjoy. I saw that you can turn off the voices for the flowers. I didn't do that, and I saw that you could turn off like the badges and things like that. So that was cool, because I was going to ask how you felt about that kind of stuff, but
that's my one detractor.
Only because like I know you hate when characters in games are like, oh, what's that over there? And like you wanted to find that yourself. This game has flowers that do that, but like, I don't know. That probably doesn't bug you, right? Because you were going to explore anything anyway. And it's
not the same. Yeah. And with the badges, the only thing that bugs me is like every time you get a badge, it's like, oh, you really learned how to use that badge? Well, do you want to use it? And I'm like, no, I never do. Every time you ask me, I don't want to use it. So, But yeah, there are some cool badge levels though, like that one badge that lets you like run for a bit in the air before you make your jump.
So cool.
That's an awesome badge. So I imagine there'll be like some challenge levels with that badge specifically later on. That'll be a lot of fun. I saw somebody using a combination of that and the bubble power up to do some like really crazy speed running through levels. So
yeah, the bubble, I'm the worst with the bubble, but I know it's probably pretty versatile if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yep, it's just a great fun game. I can't get enough of it. So I'm glad you're feeling the same.
Yeah, the only stages I don't care for that much are the ones where you have to go to 4 different rooms and beat the enemies in a certain time period.
Pressure's on.
And it's only because of the pressure,
Yeah.
And to be honest, there was one I was doing last night in the level that you're going into, in the world that you're going into, and I was like, I did it like 5 times. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And then I did it. And then I was like, you know what? All right.
Yeah.
So,
well, the one that I did, I finished it and I didn't get the best time. I got the second best. And I was like, man, I got to shave like 20 seconds off my time here. And I went in and did it a couple more times and did it. But, I did it with like 3 or 4 seconds to spare. So it was kind of tight. But I was like, I love that feeling of where you're like, this is impossible. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, I did it. I feel great.
Yeah, I thought it was impossible. And then it was like, well, I know what every stage is going to be. And I know what weapons are. So then I started like just getting a little smarter with it and shaving down some time. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, they're built for, routes. Like you can see enemies are placed in certain ways. As you do them multiple times, you see like, okay, I see what I could do here to really shave my time down. So yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, the music has been perfect with the experience. It's for me, a little understated comparatively to other Mario games, only from a perspective of I'm not humming them all like I would hum like any other song from any other Mario game. But there's a couple of real cool like reimaginings, I want to say. Like the underground theme is so BA in this version. And
it's got like I feel like the underground theme in this one takes at least some inspiration from the underground theme in Super Mario Brothers 2. There's something about the vibe of it and the feeling, the approach that I love it. Yeah, I really, really like that.
Yeah, so there's, if I don't pay attention to the music, I'm not paying attention to it, but if I pay attention to it, I really, really like it. So everything as a package for this game is, for me, perfect. Absolutely love playing it. And to be honest, I'd probably be done with it if it weren't for Suika Game. I listened to, I don't know, way too many podcasts in the past week just playing Suika Game. But anyways, RMC, what did you play?
Oh, thanks for asking. I played Mario, but I talked about that. I played Fortnite. We are good on that. And the only other thing that I played is called Void Stranger. And it's
the game. It's fun.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. And it's only on PC right now. I don't know if it's going to anything else.
No.
But I don't know if you would like it. I'll describe it to you.
Okay.
So there's a style of game called Sokoban puzzle games. And they involve like pushing boxes to get them to specific spots. And that's how you beat the puzzle. And then you go to the next level. This game is kind of like that. It's definitely Sokoban inspired. You have a wand, and the wand will pick up a tile on the floor. So it's all grid based. So wherever you are in front of you, if you hit the button, you'll pick up a tile, and it's like magically put inside your wand. Then you can take that tile and put it anywhere you want. So if there's a hole in the floor, you could cover it with that. And the goal of each level is to get to the goal, the stairs to go down a layer deeper. And just with that one mechanic of being able to pick up a floor tile and move it, there's so many different puzzles that come up, and they're really inventive. So I really like that. There's enemies. You have no way of attacking enemies. You just have to avoid them. You can drop them in holes. You can make them fall into holes. So that's the game. That's the gameplay. It's just a puzzle game where you work your way through this dungeon. But it's very clear to me that this game is doing something else. There's something else going on here.
Like an inscription?
Like Inscription, yeah, or like Undertale. Like something else is going on here. Because there's like things that you do and things that you see and things that you experience where you're like, there's a lot more going on here than this game is letting on at first. And like every 25 levels or so, you get to for me anyway, I've gotten to a stage that's just like a one line to walk across, and there's a tree, and you go over to the tree, and the tree is a save point. And if you say, yes, I want to save, then the game quits. Then the game exits. You're done. Like the game stops. And when I went back the first time, I thought I would just pick up at the save spot, but I picked up at a castle where I was talking to a princess that was like a young princess, and I was like her caretaker. And it's like I relived part of a memory, and then the memory stops and you're back in the puzzle game, and like you're going, and I'm like, what's going? So
interesting.
Something is going on here, and I'm very interested in seeing what happens. So it's a great puzzle game that's clearly got an ulterior motive, and I don't know what it is yet, but that is my bread and butter. I love it. Like simple gameplay mechanic that's a ton of fun on its own, mixed in with the game trying to screw with you in some way. I'm all about it. So there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm very excited to see.
Yeah. The way you describe it, I'm like, I gotta play this game. This sounds right up my alley. And then I Googled it and I was like, oh, this is why I wouldn't like it.
I was gonna say, let me stop you. It uses a Game Boy aesthetic, so it's old school Game Boy style.
I mean, right down to the colors used, for God's sake. It's like in black and white.
You can change them. It's still only two-tone, but you can change them. You could have a green and greener, or
and
orange and whatever, or pink and purple. Yeah, so you could change it. But also chiptune soundtrack that's really good, really, really, really good chiptune soundtrack. But yes, I'm incredibly intrigued. So when I sit down to play, I usually play until I get to the next tree, and then I stop, and I'm like, well, we'll see what happens when I start up next time. So I'm only 50 levels deep right now, but I couldn't be any more intrigued by this experience. Void Stranger. It's on Steam. I think it's on itch.io as well. And it was $12, $11. I'm in, and I did a little research afterwards, and people are like, this is the subversive hit of the year. This is the game people are going to be talking about. So it's clear, like, so, you know, like I said, the game I think makes it pretty obvious that something else is going on. I just don't know what that is, but it seems like people are enjoying it. So I know there's a ton of great games out there, but support the little guys as well. Marsboro says $12. It's $11.99. The game is fun. So that's what I've been playing. Now we got questions. And Deux.
Yes.
Well, first off, send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general, whatever the hell you want. Let me see. Did I jump the gun here? I didn't. This worked. I did not do this on purpose. This came up organically as I'm going through the questions. This is from PT, and it's all for you. So no input from me here.
Uh-oh.
Deux. It says, all right, Deux, this one's for you.
Here we go.
Let's play. Is it a kaiju? They have 10 characters with specifications, and we need you to decide if you think it's a kaiju or not.
All right.
So again, for those who don't know, kaiju are like, Godzilla and everything Godzilla fights. They're all kaiju. Big monsters. So, but there is gray area. Deux, here we go. Number 1, Clifford the Big Red Dog. They are anywhere from 10 foot tall to 35 foot tall.
Not kaiju.
Okay, not kaiju.
Now, these are just my opinions.
Yeah,
right?
there's
like,
no wrong
There's
answer.
nothing
This
official
is
about any of these characters. All right.
Paul Bunyan.
Huh.
Described as over 7 feet tall, which that's certainly not what I've heard. Versus towering over trees.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking the big one with the big bowl, I'd say that's kaiju territory. But if we're talking just 7 feet tall, then I'm going to say no.
So we're saying Babe would be a kaiju as well. Then Babe is his big blue ox.
Is that what the ox is called? I never knew that.
Babe the big blue ox.
Yeah. Yes.
Dora the Explorer. Age ranges from 4 to 8 depending on source material, and she's 5'2" tall.
No, not kaiju.
Shaq. 7'1".
That would be a funny kaiju like movie with Shaq, but he's a little too small as well.
Any of the colossi from Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, they're all kaiju.
There you go. Because one of them is 12 feet tall. That one that runs around, it's like a...
I'm throwing them in kaiju as if it's like Attack on Titan, like they're all Titans, even if they're a weird little one.
There are smaller ones, true. There are ones that are about like double the height of a normal person, so that's true. El Gigante from Resident Evil 4.
Oh, yeah. He's
23 feet tall.
Wow, 23 feet. I'd say, I don't know. If Babe's a kaiju, then I guess El Gigante is going to be a kaiju as well.
Now, you're not going to know the next one, but we have a description, and I think it will really help. The Mechanus and Bionis from Xenoblade Chronicles, they both measure somewhere around 7 miles tall.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous
kaiju. They did fight each other. In Xenoblade Chronicles, since you don't know, I'll tell you very quickly. Mechanus and Bionis were two like giant creatures that fought each other, but they're dead. They died like locked in battle. Cool. And we live on them. Like their bodies became like living landscapes. It's a really cool idea. And then number 9, the Big Friendly Giant, 24 feet tall.
You know what? If we gave it to El Gigante, we're giving it to the Big Friendly.
All right. Number 10, your last one, the Iron Giant, 50 feet tall.
Yeah. That'd be a cool kaiju as well.
There you go. So most of them are kaiju. We're not saying Dora or Shaq, although Shaq was noted as being funny. And Clifford, you said no, correct?
Yeah.
Just Clifford, 10 feet tall to up to 35 feet. Or no, I'm sorry, 10 foot tall, 25 to 35 feet in length, depending on the book. So head to tail.
Yeah.
But there you go. That was just for you. And I appreciate any kaiju talk. We also have a Patreon question due. You know that you can go on the internet and join Patreon
for $1.
Guy Bones gave me $1 and he joined the Patreon to leave this question. Are there any foods that you used to love but are now inaccessible? My city had A&W that made chicken tacos. They weren't the best, but they were unique. And I'd give anything to have those again. If anybody knows of another A&W with tacos, let me know. So that's a great question. A food you used to love, but's now inaccessible. So hard to get or impossible to get. PB Crisp. It's one that always comes up for us. We all loved PB Crisp. PB Crisp looked like a peanut in its shell. It looked like a peanut shell, but it was like a candy peanut flavored.
Yeah, it was like
cracker cookie cream.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it had like a creamy peanut butter inside, and it was like a wafery,
so good.
Peanut buttery, crunchy. It was great.
They were great. Man, this is a great talk for you to have because you got that cookie ahead of you. The
peanut butter crunch cookie. Excited to eat this cookie.
Yeah, PB Crisp is a great one. As I've said on the show before, Micro Magic French fries is one for me. Not inaccessible, but certainly harder for me to get Pizza Hut. And I know it's not inaccessible, but it's more inaccessible for me than it used to be because the one I used to go to isn't around. And all the other ones that were sort of local also closed. So it's more difficult for me to get. And that is my number 1 because I love Pizza Hut. So not as inaccessible as others, but certainly that's my number 1 because I love Pizza Hut. We went into, I won't get too specific, but in Pennsylvania by that mall that we went to, there's a Target out by that mall. And Mom, Brain, and I happened to be out there and we were at that Target. That's a nicer Target than the one that's by you. Mm-hmm. This Target had like you know how Little Caesars has hot and ready. You can just walk in the building and pull a pizza out and leave.
Yeah.
Target had that, but for Pizza Hut. Wow. And I've never been so jealous in my life.
Because you used all your calories that day?
No, it's not. It's further to drive out to. Also, it was the only thing left in there that day were one thing of garlic knots. Like everything else was gone. So people were buying it all day long. But it's literally 5 shelves, like oven heated, personal pan pizzas, full pizzas, pizzones, like they had it all.
Beautiful.
And I was like, why can't the Target that's closer? Because we got a Target that's like 15 minutes away from me. I was like, why can't that one have it? Because that's where the pizza used to be that we would go to. So I'd be like, that'd be perfect. But nope. I'm so mad because they redid the Target closer, but they didn't give it one of those things. So when they were going through the remodel, I was like, please let it have the Pizza Hut. And it didn't. And the other one, the other Target that got remodeled had a Pizza Hut and took it out. So I'm annoyed about
it. No love for Pizza Hut.
I know. And you know what? It's the #1 biggest pizza chain in the United States still.
So strange.
They're close with Domino's. It's like 9,000 for Domino's and 10,000 locations for Pizza Hut.
Man, I wonder why it's not, when it's so successful everywhere else, why it would not be successful out here by us.
Well, that's the thing. It still is successful here, but people do not do it like we used to. Like if people are like, let's have Pizza Hut, and you would go and sit down and eat in the Pizza Hut. People don't do that anymore. They want to order it online or order in general and have it like, if people are going out to eat, they're going to like Olive Garden or like, how many people are going out to McDonald's to sit down and eat? Not a lot. Or Burger King. Like you're going to go through the drive-through or DoorDash it or something. So Pizza Hut just, when people think pizza, like if you're before the era of DoorDash and all that, if you were thinking about a food you would order for delivery, it's pizza. So especially nowadays, nobody's going to go out to a pizza. We would, because we're of the upper crust, not meant to be a pizza joke, but a pizza joke anyway. I could talk about Pizza Hut all day long. My mom and I were talking about breadsticks because my mom loves Olive Garden, and she's like, I really love their breadsticks. I was like, I like their breadsticks a lot too, but Pizza Hut is better. And she's like, I don't think I've ever had a Pizza Hut breadstick. And I was like, we need to change that. So that's the plan. But Pizza Hut's breadsticks are dangerous because you could eat those and be full before your pizza even comes out. They're so good. Other inaccessible foods. I'm trying to think of ones that make more sense. Malamars are hard to get when you're not in this season because you smell that, right? Something burn?
No, I don't think it's burning, but I do smell something.
Somebody's grilling. Malamars are hard to get around this any other season but this season, and I love a Malamar, so that's tough. But a moon pie is close enough. So other inaccessible foods. The original Planners. Speaking of PB Chris, Planners, cheese balls.
Oh,
I know they brought them back in a little can. They're not quite the same. They're good, but they're not quite the same. But those original ones, I loved those. I absolutely love those, and they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know Planters had such a good cheese ball.
Yes, it was like a can like this big, and it had like a plastic lid, but it had like the pull tab top, like a big soda can. Oh, they were great. They were really great. There's something else. There was, when we were kids, there was a s'mores cookie that you could put in the microwave, and it was delicious.
Ooh.
I can't remember what it was called, but they haven't made that in years either. So a lot of it's going away. I should have went to the chat because I'm sure you guys have some stuff that you missed from your... Yep, I'm going to go in and see what you're saying right now. Is the shakaroni pizza from Papa John's a kaiju? Yeah, definitely. Jamaica ginger cake. I've never had that, but it looks really good. Mountain Dew Pitch Black. It's grape. Do they not have that anymore?
I guess not.
Old Pizza Hut. New one just tastes different. I agree. Old Pizza Hut tasted better. But I still love Pizza Hut. But yes, old one was better. Old one had better ingredients. Like that, the cheese on the old pizza was unbelievable. But everything cuts costs nowadays. Apple pie Oreos are incredible. Haven't seen them in years. Apple pie Oreo is never a flavor I would think to buy. But now you're making me want to try it.
I would definitely try it, but I wouldn't think to buy it. Yeah.
I got pizza today at Milano's, which is called Pizza Express in the UK. So good. I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm not into the toppings on there, but the pizza looks okay. Pitch Black comes and goes. Yeah, I thought I had Pitch Black not that long ago, but yeah, that sucks when You know what? That's a great one. Ecto Cooler. I love Ecto Cooler. It came back for a while, and I was in heaven, and now it's gone again. So that sucks. But I wish they would bring back Sobe Power like it used to be. That used to in our high school days. So 8 million years ago, that was all over the place, and I loved it. I know they brought back Snapple Rain and all those, but they're not like they used to be. So I'm annoyed about that. You know, people are always like, back in my day, things were better. When it comes to snacks, I think that's true because they weren't cutting costs as much. They were using better ingredients. Like, it's just not the same. But Ecto Cooler was the same. Ecto Cooler was exactly the same. So Heisey was doing it right.
Nice.
But that's that. And we got no music, but send your music. Oh, thank you guys. I put out the call for getting us over the 300 threshold, and we are there. So thank you. I appreciate that. But that's it, dude, unless anything comes across your desk.
You know, okay, so Deu's Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Dew Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that I like my spiders and my flies to get little tidbits of information around the video game world and bring it back to me, and then I share it with you. And they're rumors. So usually it's a rumor. This time we're doing something a little bit different. I have something true to share. Definitely true. Don't try to look it up. So apparently Doug Bowser said what he said about the voice of Mario because he was keeping under wraps the fact that they decided to send Charles Martinet to Pizza Hut because they were thinking, so they were thinking, hey, remember how successful Reggie was at Pizza Hut before he came to Nintendo?
Mm-hmm.
If we send Martinet to Pizza Hut for that training, he can come back as a better Mario than ever because he can like the pizza pie.
It makes sense.
So yes, so
we all know Pizza Hut's authentic Italian, so it makes sense.
And they were thinking, well, let's do that without telling anybody. We'll get Kevin to do the voice of Wonder, and then we'll go back to Martinet when he, for the next game. But then like you said, data miners were gonna find out anyway, so they were like, you know what, let's get ahead of this whole thing. And it's kind of like when they have to disavow knowledge of a soldier that went over, because so now Martinet's like stuck at Pizza Hut. He can't get out of there because if he quits, he'll never get another job. Well, I mean, I'm sure he would, but like he would have to get a different job, and he can't just come back to Nintendo so easily. This was a really long and true rumor, and I'm glad that you listened to it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that it's long; it's true. You're just delivering the news. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
By the way, I posted a picture in the Discord because I found out that the apple pie Oreos have a graham, like the cookie is graham cracker flavor.
Oh, like a pie crust.
Thing. That
sounds great.
If I knew that, like seeing that in the store, I'd be like, okay, I'll give them a try.
Yeah.
Because I was picturing like a regular flavor.
Chocolate with apple.
Yeah. Or even like one of their vanilla ones, which I like, but that wouldn't be enough for me to be like, oh, I got to get these. But graham flavored, then I'm in. So,
yeah.
Add that to the list. I guess I can't get them. So, and Lube used to bring over Oreos all the time and he'd get every weird flavor and he never did apple.
He probably would have if he saw it, I imagine.
Well, I guess we'll never know. Oh, Tentavision's got a little bit more in the rumor. They replaced the marinara sauce with Martinet sauce.
That's amazing.
And what's Martinet sauce? You figure that out.
That's right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Oh, man. So much food talk. All I want to do is eat. Yes, Tentavision. Tentavision says, I love trying new Oreo flavors. They don't do them that often. Is that a joke? It's the second part of the joke because I feel like they do new flavors all the time.
Yeah,
I feel like there's new limited flavors for Oreo.
I stay out of
like every month.
The really great aisles in the grocery store.
Going to the grocery store now that I am dieting, it's the best thing in the world and the worst thing in the world. Like every aisle, I'm like, oh my, look
like
at that!
Seeing it with the new eyes.
New eyes. You're exactly right. Roth says, some reason Pizza Hut seems greasier now than it was 2 decades ago. I don't know.
What, Pizza Hut pizza?
I would say it's not very greasy.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't seem too greasy to me. There's something different, I want to say, mostly in like the dough part. Like there was something almost a little spongier, and I generally don't like a spongy pizza, but like back in the day, there was like a texture to that pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just because I haven't had a pan pizza in a while. Maybe that's a pan pizza.
Their pan pizza is spongier in general now, but back then you're 100%
there was
right.
Something about it.
Because I mean, obviously my love of pizza comes from somewhere, and I remember like as a kid, my grandma lived right by a pizza. Like it was not even 5 minutes away, and she loved it just like I did, and we used to go there and eat. And like the cheese would stretch forever, and the pan pizza was like very spongy. You're right. Like it was very soft and fluffy. Like it was so good. The cheese, the cheese 100% is not the same. And that's when they were using dough and like actually making the pizza. Right. Now a pizza, they get like frozen dough pucks, and it's like, this is the pan one, this is the stuffed crust one, and then they just throw some toppings on or whatever. Yeah. So it's streamlined. I still love it, but I'm not pretending like the original wasn't better. The way it was 30 plus years ago was better. Yeah, it was great. But I loved the Pizza Hut experience 30 years ago overall better. Like how the restaurants looked. I know, because I'm a pizza Hut aficionado, I know there are 9 locations in America that are Pizza Hut classics. And that doesn't mean they're old and they stayed old. That means they made them new to be old. So they're still serving the new pizzas, but they're built to look like Pizza Hut used to look like. So, and there's one in Pennsylvania.
Maybe, I wonder if you can just franchise a Pizza Hut and like say, I want to be a classic one. Like what goes into that? Because
I don't know.
That would be awesome. Like I don't want to own or run a restaurant, but I would, like, if we have to be the ones to bring a classic to us, I
seem destined for it. Yeah. And you know what it would be great to do it with? Go to one of the buildings that used to be a Pizza Hut and is now something else, and when that goes out of business, be like, it's time to bring it back.
Nice.
Because like around here there's a Pizza Hut that's like is it a Five Guys now or a knockoff Five Guys?
There's one that's like
something seven men or something like that.
And one has like, they even kept like, one building has like the same exact roof, but they just painted it like teal or something. I was like, I know the Pizza Hut roof when I see it.
Blood Ocean, you say the modern box design is boring. Are you talking about Pizza Hut? Because they went back to a classic box now. They have like the old logo on the box and the red border around it.
Love that classic.
Yep,
man.
Yep. I just don't think, I know there are pizza freaks out there like me who like long for the days of pizza like it used to be, but I don't know if there's enough who would be like to start a campaign to say, Pizza, bring back your old pizza for a limited time, at least a limited time, like you used to do it. I don't know, maybe I need to be the one to start that whatever those things are called, petition. Maybe people would sign that petition. I don't know.
I don't know. There's bigger problems in the world, but boy, would it be nice to just have
much bigger
to have one more bite.
Maybe
of that
if we solved
pizza.
that one problem, the others would fall like dominoes.
What's funny is I can still.
Pun intended.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Go ahead. You're gonna say something.
I was just gonna say I can still taste it. Like it's a memory that's still there. Yeah. Like
I remember a giant pitcher of Pepsi, a basket of breadsticks, the old like cast iron pans with the pan pizza, and we were only getting pan pizza back then because Pizza Hut hadn't made their finest invention yet. They didn't come up with stuffed crust yet. You see, Papa John's has stuffed crust with pepperoni also stuffed into the crust now.
I think I did see that. I would definitely try it.
I like Papa John's. I haven't had it in a while, but I like Papa John's. There's none. That's another one where there's none around here.
Their sauce creeps me out, to be honest. Something's weird about the sauce. It's too sweet. Something.
Yeah, I had Papa John's a good amount back in the early 2000s. We had a friend who had one by them, and we got it pretty often. And then I haven't had it probably like maybe 7 or 8 years. I haven't had it in a long time, so I'd be curious to see what it's like now. But yeah, I want to try that Shakaroni. It's back. I want to give it a shot. But I'd have to look. I honestly have no idea what the closest Papa John's is. I'm guessing it's by you somewhere, but even by you, I don't know where it is.
I have no clue.
And then there's Little Caesars. Oh, we didn't talk about Domino's. I like Domino's. I think Domino's is legit good. I'm not saying I think it's a legit pizza. Like, I'm never like, do you want a local pizza joint or Domino's? But as far as fast food pizza goes, I like Domino's. And Little Caesars, I only had once and I didn't really like it, but I want to give it another try. So
yeah, I've only done Little Caesars once as well, and it was a very disappointing instance.
So, but a lot of people like really like it. I need to see what people think is the best Little Caesars pizza and give that one a try. I'm down to try it again. Plus, you know, I'm not expecting it to be the best because it's a $5 pizza. Like how good could it be? So, but I'll try it. All right, that's it for the after show. This man's got a delicious cookie and some pie to eat, and I don't want to torture him anymore. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. Play some games. Take it easy. Enjoy the weekend. And next week you'll be here, right?
Yes.
And it should be Mom Brain, and maybe we'll get Nikki Hill here. But that's it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. We are